This is crazy. The Spectator Index just tweeted out, breaking, US to impose 17% tariff on Israel. Breaking, S&P 500 futures plunged 3% amid Trump tariff announcement. Breaking, US to impose 46% tariff on Vietnam, and we're just beginning. Trump is announcing tariffs on all countries. All countries. Let me show you how much of a doofus Donald Trump is. Right after he gave his Liberation Day tariff speech, he walked off stage and then was escorted back because he forgot to actually sign the executive orders. Is he putting a tariff on directions too? I don't know. Oh, nope, you gotta go back. He just made everyone cheer for him, and then he just walked right back up on stage. No shot. Liberation Day is what Trump has been calling the day where he's going to place a bunch of tariffs on countries. He's actually speaking right now. Let's watch.
Thank you. Nice crowd. What a good-looking group of people. Well, we have some very, very good news today, and a lot of good things are happening for our country. Please sit down. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day...
No one's gonna call it Liberation Day, low bro. He also said he was doing it on April 2nd because he didn't want it April 1st to make it seem like it was a joke. It's still equally as unserious, bro. You might as well have done it on April 1st because it's equally as unserious.
America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're gonna make it wealthy, good and wealthy. For decades.
That's the opposite of what tariffs do. You're gonna make the government a little bit more wealthy because you're taking revenue from the pockets of companies or citizens.
Our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike.
Did you just say raped?
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them.
He just learned what that word means, by the way, like 5 minutes ago.
Very simple, can't get any simpler than that.
When he says it's very simple, he just learned that word.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense.
No. We are rich and powerful off the back of other nations right now. The thing is, Trump views everything in such a transactional way, and we know this. The suit is very transactional in all of his interactions, but now he's taking that to the global stage. And now he's acting like alliances between countries are necessarily transactional when they can be mutually beneficial. Like Canada helps us, we help Canada, we both help Mexico. We're all in this together as North America and we're all trading with each other. The idea that we should be on an island and Canada and Mexico should have nothing to do with us and should just trade around us is absolutely absurd.
With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before. Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. And ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America. It's coming back, and we're going to come back very strongly. We're going to have to go through a little tough love, maybe?
This is so awkward. He's holding a massive sign, and he just announced that tariffs on all countries are going to happen.
At the same time, we will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. You notice that on the chart? And that'll be on other countries to help rebuild our economy and to prevent cheating. So we're going to have a minimum of cheating, and we're going to be very severe on the people that at the gate that watch the tariff. tariffs and watch the product coming in, because there's been a lot of bad things happening at the gate.
America has spent the past few decades, many decades, building up mutually beneficial relationships with our allies. And if you think that an ally is treating us unfairly, you can talk to them in a diplomatic way without just putting tariffs on them. Or if the argument that Trump wants to make is that he's helping protect American industries, why don't you leave a 6-month to 12-month grace period to allow manufacturing to reshore? Reshoring manufacturing allows, or giving a grace period to reshore manufacturing allows companies to build plants, to hire workers, to import the supplies. All of the logistics take time, and you can't just get into office and then 1 month later be like, yo, tariffs on all countries. Actually, I'm gonna remove them. Wait, no, actually, tariffs on all countries. Wait, I'm gonna remove them. Wait, now I'm serious. That's what he's done so far. Flip-flop, flip-flop.
Foreign nations will finally be asked to pay for the privilege of access to our market. I campaigned on this policy throughout last year, and today that promise was made, and it was also a promise, as you know, that was kept. Promises made, promises kept.
I hate this guy. What promises were made and kept? I don't know. Trump campaigned by lying about what tariffs were. He lied and said that tariffs generate revenue from other countries, was his claim, that other countries pay the tariffs. But dude, that is a lie.
If you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build your plant, your product in America. And we've seen companies coming in like we've never seen before. Likewise to all of the foreign.
We also see alliances created like we've never seen before. I mean, I was just talking about this one, but we haven't seen China, Japan, and South Korea create this almost external alliance going around the USA to jointly respond to US tariffs. When I read this article, I pointed out that the scary part isn't even that they're jointly responding to tariffs. That's, of course, I don't know what the response is going to be, but the scary part is actually that these 3 countries are now buddy-buddy. I mean, America is going to be left behind in the dust.
Presidents, prime ministers, kings, queens, ambassadors, and everyone else who will soon be calling to ask for exemptions from these tariffs. I say, terminate your own tariffs, drop your barriers, don't manipulate your currencies. They manipulate their currencies like.
The only thing is, number one, there are good reasons for tariffs, but when Trump is talking about getting a phone call from other kings and other leaders asking for an exemption, something that people don't talk about enough, and an interesting thing about tariffs is that they are ripe for corruption. Tariffs would be like the equivalent of, tariffs are exactly what a mob boss would use if they were president, and that's what Trump is doing. Because imagine, you place tariffs on all countries across the globe. You can then ask for favors for exemptions from those tariffs. Or if they do you a favor or a little bit of quid pro quo, or if they're just overall, if they shift their policy towards you in general, then it's just, it's extortion 101, as you said in chat. You can easily extort people and ask for illegal favors rather than using diplomatic means. I mean, if you ask some of these countries if they want to build manufacturing plants in the US anyways, I'm sure they would.
But even more importantly, they will give us growth. These tariffs are going to give us growth like you haven't seen before. And it'll be something very special to watch. Work's already begun on plants all around the country. And you see that as before. These are big, rich companies. We have $61 billion started on a big plant going up. It's going to be announced over the next 2 days. And they already started work. Many of these the biggest companies in the world, they've committed to build, build, build. We're going to build, build, build.
Build, build, build. Yikes. Can you build a tower taller than this dip right here? This is the aftermarket. These are the futures, basically. Just dropped. Starting right when Trump spoke. But it only dropped at today's lows. I would expect it to break the lows and go way below. But I mean, it's not a good sight to see.
Here are just a short list of some of the companies that have already announced and committed to investment. And this is a company that built its factories and its plants in China. Apple is going to spend $500 billion. They never spent money like that here. They're going to build their plants here. SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle, great great companies are investing $500 billion almost immediately. NVIDIA, a hot company, is investing hundreds of billions of dollars. They just announced. TSMC, the biggest, most important company in the world of chips from Taiwan, with no investment from us, is investing $200 billion. And they said the reason was, number one, the election of November 5th, and number two, the tariffs. They don't want to pay the tariffs, and the way they're not paying it is to build their plant here. So we're going to go from almost no percentage. We used to have 100% of the chip market. Now it's all in Taiwan. Almost all of it's in Taiwan.
And by the way, when he's saying most of this, it's not true. A lot of the concessions that he gets from other countries were concessions that were already grabbed before he won the election, already grabbed before he took office. Even when we're going back to the first tariffs that he enacted on Colombia, the first tariffs of his presidency, I believe it was the end of the first week, he enacted tariffs on Colombia for like an hour, and he got a concession that was fake. Next was Trudeau and Sheinbaum, fake concessions. Right here, when he's listing off these numbers, yes, we want countries to invest in the US, but number one, starting a trade war isn't necessary. Number two, you can get them to invest in the US in many other ways, but also these were concessions that already happened without a trade war being necessary. Just remember that. Do you feel liberated yet? Do you feel liberated? Trump has been saying for months that today is supposed to be Liberation Day. Well, actually, he kept moving Liberation Day back because he's a little bit of a baby and he was scared that the market was going to drop. But Liberation Day ended up being him placing tariffs on every other country and basically just hurting the stock market.